So these are joint rotations. They're different to something called CARS, which is controlled articular rotations. It's different to that. This comes more from martial arts and Tai Chi training. It's to get your body used to moving certain regions of the body to help open up other parts of the body later, or to help different parts open up later. So by releasing the neck, we're getting a lot of release going through the back of the neck, where a lot of key structures come through for neural control of the whole body. So it'll help release the pelvis, help release the spine, and etc. Getting the thoracic body, the rib cage open more, helps everything as well. As soon as we help breathing, we're helping everything. This can be done from bottom up. We're going to do it from top down, because that's how our neurology works, from top down. So starting off your feet about shoulder width, knees a little bit off the lock, and you're bending a little bit here as well. So I'm not just bending knees and sort of being straight through here, so I bend through here, so it's like you're sitting on a visible stool. And I just start bouncing first. So I want some movement coming from here. So it's not stiff through here, and that's just coming from my knees. The whole body is just bouncing up and down, so we feel just loose. Bring the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and you're breathing in and out through your nose. Just getting the nose breathing happening is really important. So aim to do mouth breathing the whole time through this. It'll be a bit harder for me since I'm talking. So we're just being loose first. Just like a swimmer when they're warming up. Just loosening everything up. Anything that feels tense, feel tense in your pelvis, you put your awareness there. See if you can soften that up. Shoulders, releasing compression in your chest. Letting the neck be soft, as if the neck's full of air. And just letting the belly breathing come in, so you're breathing into your belly. You're letting this part move too, but it's not breathing from here first. It's getting the breath go down into here. So ideally we want here and here to expand together, but not just this kind of breathing here. That's the bad one. Okay. And we're just putting soothing feelings through the nervous system. So at ease. Okay, and we're just looking up and down. Just doing small motions to start with, so you're not going full range. So with all of these, we start off small movements first, so small circles, small up and down motions. You're just feeling out where your body is, because flexibility changes day to day. Based on neural tension, based on stress, based on our breathing patterns. And when you go back, think about going up with the top of your head, going up and over, rather than just sort of sitting back. So this here isn't good. I'm thinking about up and over. And you're keeping your jaw closed, so you can stretch out the front of your neck too. Then we're going side to side. A bit of creaking, a bit of crunching is normal, especially if your neck's real tight. So when it's painful, that's a problem. When it's blocked and you sort of force it, that's not good. Or when you go to close a joint down on one side and you feel nerve symptoms in the other, that's not good, so don't force that. And we're thinking about going up and over with this, up, over. Then we're going rotations. Just keeping the chin slightly pulled in, not by much, so I'm not going like this, but I'm not doing this with my head staying out like this. It's just finding a sort of middle ground. And we're still just letting the breath be into the belly, sense of sinking, knees off lock, still relaxed in the hips. And getting a sense of ground. So you're feeling both your feet touching the ground. Usually the awareness goes through the right side of the body, because our neurology is based off the right side of the body, even if you're left-handed, which I am. Sometimes people just feel their right foot. They're standing on both legs, but they really just feel grounding. It's going through the right foot. We want to feel the ground also through the left. That gets the body connecting even better. And from here, shoulder rotations. Pop your hands on your belly here, and you're getting your shoulder blades to move up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward. If people have shoulder issues, usually the shoulder blade doesn't move very well at all. And it can be related to what's happening in the pelvis and what's happening with breathing mechanics, especially if your shoulder condition isn't going away with lots of treatment you've had. So we're going forward as well. And your arms don't go closer than your body width with this. So we open. And probably a good idea to start small here first. We just do small circles, especially if you've got a bit of a shoulder issue. You may not be able to do this as big. You're just doing this where you don't feel any pain, going to stiffness but not pain. And gradually opening the circle wider. And we want to get into going a little bit faster if you can, but your arms don't come closer than your body width. So they always want to do this. Stay here, and we start opening it up this way. Still just breathing normal. Moving out through the nose. Then we go the other way. You can start smaller circles again. Gradually getting bigger. We can start to speed it up. Just like what a swimmer does. And your hands on your hips. Your legs stay straight. They're not locked, they're just straight. So I'm not bent with this part, I'm just straight with my legs. Circling your hips, going small circle, gradually getting bigger circle. So as if you're standing inside a cylinder and you're cleaning the inside of the cylinder with your pelvis. Especially getting the corner here and the corner here. So your head stays in the center. And you gradually make the hip circle bigger. So when I do this, my hips aren't turning at all. I'm just keeping my hips facing front all the time. If they were turning, it would look like this. It sort of looks awkward. The hips are just facing the front the whole time. And from here, keeping your knees bent and just sitting in this position again. Your arms really loose. A sense of an axis through your body, so like a balloon drawing you up gently to the top of the head, like there's an axis going through the whole body, and you just got to rotate on that axis. So I'm just turning, I'm letting my hips turn, the waist turn, the arms be really loose, so like no power in the arms. My arms only move because my hips are turning. If my hips stop turning, the arms stop swinging like a pendulum. The hips start, the arms start. So really loose. Keeping the knees off lock ensures a lot of shear stress doesn't go into the knee. The legs and the whole body has a massive rotational component. So this is affecting rotation through the feet, through the ankles, through the knees, the fibular heads on the side of the knee, the hip joints, big time hip joints, sacrum, lower back, all the way up into your neck. And with my arms, so let the arms gently hit into your body, but the back of your hand touches your back. And you're just breathing still, getting a sense of that ground in both legs. Anywhere that feels tight, put your awareness inside there, and you're softening that area. As if it was a ball of tight rubber bands, gradually becoming slack. Keeping the knees and hips off lock, feet straight ahead, hands on your hips. What this looks like is a circle here. So I'm circling, the pivot point is just below your belly button. That's the pivot point. But what you think about is if you're inside a square cylinder, and to help you first get the idea of this is go to one corner of the square, then I'm going to this corner, then I'm going to the back corner, other back corner, front again. So identify the 4 corners first. And if this is really difficult to do, it means that you really need to practice it quite a bit, because all bodies should be able to do this. This is acetabular control on the femur, so the actual pelvis muscles and the lower back muscles controlling the bone that goes over, covers the top of the femoral head, top of the thigh bone. And once you get good at that, then you make it all linked, connected, so it's circular. So we start to roll the hips. This is super important. So I'm aiming to soften my hips when I do this. I'm not trying to keep everything tense. I'm putting my awareness into the pelvis. It's really good for lower back problems, pelvic problems. And I'm going the other way. If you need to make the square again, start doing that. You may notice this will affect your breathing quite a bit, because it's affecting diaphragm on the 2 diaphragms on the top and 2 diaphragms on the bottom in the pelvic floor. It's affecting them. Then we make it circular. The whole body can get involved as well. This is good for ribs, neck. Just getting things that don't normally move, get them moving. As soon as you make change in what you do, you start to become unstuck. It's hugely important. Okay, there may be enough for that. If you can, you add this, so the feet turned in, whatever's comfortable, and we do the exact same thing again. So rolling the hips, and it's especially on this side when my hip turns out this way to my left, and this knee stays in. I've got control over my acetabulum on this side, and the internal rotation on this hip, on this thigh. That part there is extremely important. The right side just does that automatically. It's just how we're neurologically built. The other way, I'm just going to go sideways so you can see. We're just doing about 10 each way right now, but I've done this practice up to 10 minutes each direction. But 30 to 50 is enough, especially when you're first starting. It'll loosen things right up. Knees together, and you've just got your hands over your knees. You're just bending your knees back and forward, keeping your heels on the ground. So your pressure stays in the heels mostly. So it takes pressure out of the front of the knee. So this looks like this from the side. And gradually, as you get more flexible, you gradually can sink, and the heels still stay on the ground. So as low as you go is how much you can keep your heels on the ground. While you're here, come up on the ball of the foot. It's important that the big toe can make about 90 degrees. If you can sink, pop your hands on the ground, come right up here. And from the front, let the knees swing in and out. If the heel come up a little bit, that's fine. This is getting stretched through the midfoot, which is a very strong area of the body. So it's normal to be able to make this motion. If it causes pain, don't do it. There's other ways this can be done. And from here, small circles. So this is contraindicated to do the big circles, which is this one. When you go right down, then circle, right down and circle, because you're essentially shearing the meniscus. This here is good, this is normal for the body. So just feeling into, not going too fast, feeling into the spiral, the other way. on one foot. Quite slow, big of circle as you can, using all of your ankle and all of your toes to make that circle. Still breathing into your belly, not holding your breath. The other way. Other side. So if this balance is difficult, just practice this a lot. The balance doesn't improve as we get older unless we challenge it all the time. What we tend to do is to start holding on to things. We put our pants on in the morning by holding on, or sitting down on the bed. They're all adaptive strategies. So balance is determined by three things. So it's the somatic awareness. It's all the joint receptors, proprioceptors. The other way. The inner ear, and also vision. And a way to improve this as you get better at it, just close your eyes, just take the vision away. It makes the two other ways of balance improve, so the brain sprouts new synaptic connections. So from here, keep your feet straight, keep a little bit of pressure on your big toe, and make your big toe open. So if you've got no shoes on, you open your big toe so it's wider, or just wiggle your feet around so your big toe is away from the other toes. And we keep that there. So I've got my big toe sort of open here. And I'm coming up, 5 seconds up. Still breathing into the belly, not holding my breath. 5 second hold. And 5 seconds down. So this trains a lot of those mechanoreceptors in the whole body. What I don't want is as I come up the ankles to do that, where they kind of dive out to the side and come up. Just straight up, straight down, so it should just do that. I'll just do one more. So aim for 5 seconds up, I'm probably going a little bit fast. As soon as you improve balance, every other system in the body to do with controlling your body, tension in your body starts to improve. Then 5 seconds back down. Next one. So keep that leg straight, so the right leg stays straight. Lift your left knee up as high as you can go. See if you can turn that leg in as far as you can go, and you're focusing right in here. So this whole group of exercise, you're focusing on the muscles deep inside the hip here. Up as high as you can, turn in. Hold for 5. Things may feel like they cramp a bit, they're just showing how weak they are. That way, as far as you can, without doing anything in the pelvis. We go that way again. That way again. Keeping this leg straight and axis through your whole body like the balloon drawing you up here. Open out to the side. Draw down, lift, open out to the side without your hips turning. So you go as far as you can, draw it right down. Open, and down. From the side, this looks like we do the other side, so weight through the left leg. Lift up as high as you can, I'm staying straight, turning in. When you first start this, there's almost no movement. There's no movement because the hips aren't strong in certain muscles, and they're too tight in different parts of the hip capsules or the muscles. Turn that leg out. Turn in the other way. See if you can lift higher. Turn in the other way. Lift up. Open out to the side as far as you can without twisting your hips.